Hello, I am Katy Porter, and I was a part of the first That's What Teens Say show here in Terre Haute. I was invited back to share my story along with also being a mentor this year. I am not my past. This is my story. I come from a small town in the suburbs of Indiana. My life was fantastic. I had loving parents, family, and friends. I had everything I could need or want. I was homeschooled and was thriving. Dance classes every week, church on Sundays, family nights, it was picture perfect. When I was 9, we took a trip to Disney and a cruise. That was my last and first big family vacation. This was in June of 2016. My dad moved out in July of 2016, and my parents started uttering the words divorce. Because I was homeschooled, I didn't really know what that meant. All I knew was that my dad, my rock, my best friend were gone, and nothing was going to be the same again. Through the divorce, we lost my childhood home, animals, and cars. I felt so alone. My dad moved 45 minutes to an hour away. I didn't see or talk to him, and it crushed me. When I was 12, we were finally able to settle down in a house again. Up to that point, we lived from house to house, city to hotels, trying to find something stable, all while my dad was nowhere to be found. We saw him some, but not much. We settled down at my Nana's house in April of 2019. Everything was finally starting to get back to normal. We had what we needed and we had family. Of course, we had our ups and downs, but we had each other. I had my brother, who was a junior in high school, my cousin who was in college, who came home often due to health complications. I also had my mom, my aunt, and my Nana. They were a huge support system. They are the reason I got through this stage of my life. January 26, 2020, I was woken up by my mom shaking me. She said it was my cousin. It was 3:46 in the morning when we arrived at the hospital, and I immediately knew she was gone. I didn't need someone to tell me that. I could feel it. I had grieved the loss of my dad, house, and past, and now I'm grieving the loss of my best friend. A few days before she passed, I started at public middle school. I remember her telling me that she was proud of me, remembering the look on her face when I told her I wanted to go to school. That look was everything to me. That all came crashing down before me in just a few seconds. I was numb through the funeral, along with everything that happened after. My dad was not there to support me, even when I needed him the most. No phone call from him, just a text saying, "I'm sorry." I blocked everything out after that, just trying to make it through. In March 2020, the world shut down, meaning that now I had to grieve alone in my home, no grief groups, no therapy offices, or even seeing my friends. I had to learn how to cope by myself. I started self-harm. At first, it was something to help me feel again. It wasn't until spring of 2021 that it started to become an addiction. I found myself needing it every day, like a monster that would not let me go no matter what. I craved it to some extent. My brother was in college and didn't call or text. I felt like I wasn't ready for therapy yet, and I wasn't sure if I needed help. I got bullied for my self-harm, people saying that it was gross and that I shouldn't need it. How else was I supposed to survive? If you were drowning, would you ask if the rope you were holding would give you rug burn, or would you hold on to it and pray that you survived? That's what I did. I survived. In March 2022, I decided to quit. I threw everything away and started to fight for myself. Freshman year of high school was great. The summer before my sophomore year was great. It collapsed January 2023. I was going through a major depressive episode. I didn't sleep, eat, or drink anything for about a week. I stopped going to school, and my teachers thought I was faking it. I was told that I could suck it up, and that was my last straw. I relapsed in March of 2023, 14 days before my 1-year clean of self-harm. I hid it. I was ashamed of it. I went online for the rest of the year. I could not perform with my dance team because of absences. I was being punished for my mental health, and I felt like a failure. The summer into my junior year was great. We got a new dance coach, and people were talking about captain titles, my name being brought up as a possibility. However, I was displaced at the beginning of my junior year. My mom had fallen and broken both of her arms, leaving me with a sense of feeling completely alone. This was the first time I had stayed with my dad in over 6 years, and even then, it was only for a weekend. I was with my Nana most of the time, not knowing if my mom would be home for my birthday. I relapsed from that stress. My mom came home in the beginning of October. I was preparing for an FFA field trip for 4 days. The day before I left, I was informed that because I had missed 13 days of school, I would not be permitted to go on my trip, and my principal had also informed me that I would be nothing in life. I fought hard and they let me go for 2 days instead of the 4. December rolls around, and I find out that my GPA had fallen below a 3.0 for National Honor Society. I love National Honor Society. The second semester I fought hard to raise my grade, but failing even with A's and B's. I didn't get it. I relapsed after 6 months. All of my efforts and I still wasn't good enough. I fought and went to summer school. I had to take 4 online classes in 3 weeks while balancing a mission trip, being senior dance captain, and having to practice for our 4th of July parade. It wasn't easy, but through my determination, I raised my grade to a 3.0 average, getting all A's in my summer classes. Summer of my senior year was amazing, and the fall season of my senior year was amazing. I had football season senior night with both my parents. Our football team even went to state, and I got to perform with my color guard at Lucas Oil Stadium. Basketball season was not so great. My basketball senior night, my dad did not show up. I was so crushed. I was so hurt, I was self-destructive. I skipped school and started caring. I was the president of our Green Change Your Mind Club and felt that my own mental health didn't matter. However, I did not relapse. I hit my 1 year clean on the day that I graduated, May 24th, 2025. I graduated with honors, National Honor Society, Bring Change to Mind president, FFA member, and senior dance captain. Everyone told me that I could not do it and that I would never get better. I fought for what I wanted and reached the top. I am now a member of the SMWC dance team, and I'm studying psychology and minoring in equine assisted therapy. As I leave, I want to leave you with this. Always keep fighting. 3 words that helped me through. Finding God was the first turning point in my life. You are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. You have the strength to get through. Always keep fighting is something that all of us should carry with us. Thank you.